Welcome back to the third video of my Secret of Evermore strategy guide, and this time we are done playing nice and easy with our enemies. So today we will unleash the GIGA nerd and hike through the two main dungeons of Antiqua. I mean, look at this. When was the last time you saw such an awesome and ridiculous animation for a strength buff? Tell me in the comments below. Anyway, of course I will also show you all the other important items and spells that you can find on your way, including an exploit to completely break the game. But first, you will notice that you have a tapestry, golden jackal and scarab left from the marketplace, and no, I did not miscalculate. Go to the plaza and you will see a rock that you can cast levitate on. Tiny, the antique version of Arnold Schwarzenegger, appears and wants to show you how to really lift a rock, but only if you give him the leftover tapestry. I don't know, man, maybe he needs more chicken breast and the chicken merchant only trades with him for tapestries. Anyway, he throws the rock right off the screen. We will see where it lands later. As for the scarab and jackal, you will need those later in Gothica for some further trading, and while we are at it, you can also get an additional 20 perfumes and 18 beads, although those can also be acquired later. Another thing to do is getting the Chocobo egg, but this will take some time, which is why I mentioned this now and not doing the initial 15-minute timer. You cannot directly trade for the egg, and instead you need to find it randomly inside ceramic pots that you get from a merchant in the northwest part of the market for 2 rice bags each. Every time you trade for one or more pots, there is a chance you find some jewels inside, and on a rare occasion you will find the egg instead. The cheapest way to get the rice is from the merchant directly northeast, and you can also earn some money this way. When you are full on ceramic pots, go south to the appraiser and appraise the pots for around 800 jewels, and together with the jewels you sometimes get, it will lead to some profit. Rinse and repeat this process until you get the egg. I have a feeling that trading for 5 pots each time at the merchant leads to the most discovered items instead of going for a full set of 20 or only 1 pot. The egg increases your maximum hit points, but you can also trade it for the magic gourd at the vendor just north of you. You simply have to talk to him a couple of times. And do you know what the gourd does? Absolutely nothing. However, this is the only way to get the gourd unless you want to spend 10,000 jewels at the Mad Monk in Collosia. Because if you remember from my last video, the magic gourd is the second item he gives you in addition to the amulet if you buy one and already have the Chocobo egg, which you still should not do. You can get the egg back in Gothica, so I would make the trade here just to have all charms. One strange thing that happens when you have either the egg or the magic gourd is that the amount of jewels you find inside the ceramic pots changes from 10 to 15, increasing the profit you can make this way. And now it's finally time to get some brute strength. Go back inside the building to the secluded area of the market and follow the spider behind the crates, where the pirate version of Arnold Schwarzenegger pops out. After making some mean comment on your whimsical physique, he gives you the GIGA nerd, Atlas spell. It not only increases your attack power when used, but most importantly, it makes you super whipped.
You got to shock the muscle, and shock the muscle.
However, you need an Atlas medallion to cast the spell, and you can only get those from Pirate Schwarzenegger himself for 100 jewels each. You can also only have 3 medallions at once, and the price is based on how many you have already in your inventory. Therefore, if you want to level up the spell, you should only buy the first medallion and use it immediately before buying another one. The spell is very potent though, as you can clearly see, especially if you level it up once or twice. But it's also quite expensive and takes a lot of time purchasing medallions time and time again. However, there is a glitch that you can do with this spell that I won't really recommend using, but it is good to know how this works to avoid messing up your attack power. See, the spell's timer of around 90 seconds persists if you reset the game after saving, but the effect will not be in place. That means that when the spell expires after reloading, it subtracts the amount of attack power it normally provides from your base value and therefore lowers your attack. If you manage to get your attack power below 0, which worked for me once I leveled the spell to level 2, instead of going negative, your attack power underflows to something around 65,000. I believe this is the same mechanic that you can use in Lufia 2 to defeat the Egg Dragon by making his HP overflow from 65,000, it just goes in the opposite direction. So if you really want to break the game, that is an easy way to do it. But somehow your attacks at 100% power deal no damage at all, and you have to quickly tap the 1 button before attacking to do a full load of 999 damage. As I said, I would not recommend using this, but it's also good to know to avoid saving and quitting the game while under the effect of the Atlas spell. The next time you would then reload your save file, the buff will expire and permanently reduce your attack power if it doesn't make it under flow. And that's it for Nobilia. Now let's get over to the river and find the 2 diamond eyes. Take a ride back through the desert by giving the ferryman an amulet of annihilation and make your way to the hidden desert alchemist. Talk to him as your dog to get the next free collar and also collect the sting formula if you haven't already. Back at Blimp's cave, the rock that Tiny threw lands right next to you and creates a bridge to reach the 2 pots. Blimp gives you the revive formula, and now you should really stock up on limestone to cast Crush, because some enemies later are best dealt with using magic. You can buy the necessary wax from another alchemist soon for a cheaper price, but Blimp is the only one selling limestone. The same goes for water to cast the heal spell. Use your dog at the West River to jump over the destroyed bridge and take the cable car to also get the nerd. Then proceed west into the jungle. You will see a couple of stone walls blocking your path, and you will soon find a weapon to destroy those. For now, head northwest and into Horace's camp. You get a spell to reveal invisible platforms which you need to get into the Hall of Collosia and into the Great Pyramid. Buy some ingredients from the alchemy vendor in Horace's camp, especially the aforementioned wax and some roots. Make sure to talk twice to Horace so he joins you, and you can now also use his magic with the call bead. You can choose which dungeon you would like to do first, but I would recommend going into the pyramid in the southwest, because there you get the weapon to destroy the stone walls. However, there's also a really good farming spot right before the Hall of Collosia to the north with mad monks and spiders, so if you want to farm a little bit, that's the place to be. Now let me explain how the pyramid works. First, you have to send your dog into the first entrance that you see at the bottom. Control the nerd and step on the switch next to the entrance to open it, then switch to your dog and go inside. Jump over the water, which traps the dogs in a big room with 4 switches to stand on, each lifting another gate. You can use these to give the nerd access to different parts of the pyramid later. Switch back to the nerd outside, go up and around and enter the pyramid. Here you will be constantly attacked by some pesky flying skeletons which are hard to hit with regular weapons. These little bastards are super annoying, but they are also weak to magic, so it's actually worth casting spells on them to quickly move on. Consider this an efficient way to level up the cross spell and explore the first area to find some nice items. There are 2 exits, one to the southeast and one in the center. The southeast exit is useless for you now, so when you reach a branching path with 4 directions, go northwest and then head south to get to the center exit. Go down outside and re-enter the pyramid to get into the next area. Here you can also get many nice ingredients, but nothing of real importance, so feel free to explore as much as you want. Go down the northwest stairs, switch to your dog and step on the top left switch. Follow the open path around to some water bridges and loot the pots, then continue east and over the last bridge. Now step on the top right switch with your dog, loot the pots behind the opening gate, and then step onto the bottom left switch and fight the 2 mini-bosses to get the bronze axe. This weapon allows you to destroy the stone walls. Now here comes the only real important part inside the pyramid. You can get an optional call spell for Horace, but you can also totally mess this up. There is a 4th gate in the southeast that you can open by stepping onto the bottom right switch, but first, destroy the next stone wall to find an alchemist that saves your game. Follow the path further south, but do not destroy the next stone wall that you can see, and simply go on and cross the bridge at the bottom, leading you to the southeast gate that is now open. Do not, and I repeat, do not destroy the stone wall west of you leading to the room with your dog, because that will free him and you won't be able to open gates anymore. Just directly go through the south gate and get the formula inside the pot behind the stone wall. Then get back and release your dog. Trust me, you won't be the first one to screw this up. If it says that the pot won't open, you probably forgot to talk twice to Horace to get his magic, so you have to exit the pyramid, get your dog, go to his camp and then come back. Go southeast and upstairs to make your way to the top of the pyramid, where you fight Wimsala and his 6 support statues. As long as their statues are lit, they will constantly cast flash on you, which does quite some damage, so keep yourself healed up all the time. You can extinguish the statues with a ranged attack, but spells actually work best because you can cast one spell on up to 3 statues at once and extinguish them all. Then just make sure to keep them extinguished when they light up again. The boss himself spins around and occasionally returns to the main statue, which is your opportunity to attack him. Spells work great on the eye, but you know what also works? After smashing the boss, you get the first diamond eye. Get back to Horace's camp, stock up on ingredients and talk to Melandros to get the escape spell. Before you go into the halls of Collosia though, go to the jungle and river and destroy the stone walls to get more items. You will find a cave next to the river with an alchemist who gives you the drain spell, but the ingredients he sells are expensive and you should only buy ethanol from him if you need some. The goal inside the Hall of Collosia is to find the Bronze Spear, which you can throw over to the pit in the north to hit a switch on the other side. And please don't ask me why it has to be the Bronze Spear and not the one you already have. To find the spear, you subsequently have to access 4 main areas from the main hall, which are northwest, southeast, southwest and northwest, and you gain access to them in that order. You can barely see the entrance to those areas when they are available, as the shining light from the wall is the only indication that they are there. In those areas you have to find face buttons to open the entrance to the next section in the main hall. First, go to the north pit and cast Revealer on these platforms to reveal 2 bridges. The left one leading to the first face button to gain access to the northwest area, and the right one leading to a woman who saves the game. In the northwest area, hit the switch around the corner to reveal a bridge and cast Revealer afterwards to get a sweet little pot of ash. Follow the path north to get to the face button, then get back and hit the switch west of you. You have to run to the extending bridge on a timer, and of course there are tons of respawning enemies in your way. Getting over the bridge leads you back to the entrance and you can hit the crumbling wall with your axe to gain another call bead. There's also a secret passage on the opposite side for a pixie dust. Go further to get some brimstone and find your way back to the main hall and enter the southeast area. You only have to fight a mini-boss here, which should not be too much of a problem, but if it is, the speed spell helps to avoid a lot of his attacks. Step on the switch, get back to the main hall and enter the southwest area. The items you get from the riddle with the 3 buttons are not that important, but if you just want to continue, step on the left, middle and right button. You will see a collapsing bridge to your right, and if you have a weapon at max level, use the infinite 1 trick to get over. If you don't have a weapon at max level, quickly tapping the 1 button also works, and there's a hidden passage inside the wall next to the bridge that you should not miss. Afterwards, go south, step on the switch to your left and hit the 6 switches in the northeast room. Go further north to return to the main hall and enter the northeast area. Make your way through this section by hitting switches and casting Revealer when needed, then fight the Mad Monk at the end to get the Bronze Spear. Now here's the only real important thing. In the room with the Mad Monk, check the left wall to find another secret passage that leads all the way around to Melandros' brother, who gives you the fireball formula. Then simply backtrack to the main hall or use wings or the escape spell. You will automatically hit the switch with the spear at the northern pit and can now fight the next boss, Megator. And do you know the best way to fight Megator? That's right. So after you showed the boss how the metric system works, you get the second diamond eye and can bring them back to Horace. But you won't find him at his camp anymore, so head back to Nobilia, go to the town square and watch the scene. At this point it is important to have at least 6 call beads in your inventory to get another charm. What? I should have said that earlier because you used them all? Well, I actually did. Here, let me refresh your memory. Back in the village, Fire Ice gives you 6 core beads, which you can use to summon her for some pretty powerful spells. Just make sure you have at least 6 of them available at any time. At least 6 of them available at any 6 of them available 6 of them available at any time. So there you have it. You get the charm from Horace after the fight against Aegis in the town square, but only if you have 6 or more call beads. The fight itself can take a while because Aegis has a decent amount of hit points, unless, you know. After the fight, get back to Horace's camp, go into the dried out river and fall into the Oglin tunnel north of you. Now this place is a real pain to navigate. The Oglins are not worth fighting, it's hard to see anything and the teleporter layout is intentionally confusing. If you have a map, definitely use it. Now you can get some ingredients here, but honestly I would not bother and go directly to the exit. The fastest way is to take the first teleporter south of you, then walk east, avoid the next teleporter and go south into the next screen. Continue east and take the teleporter at the end. Go west and north and avoid the 2 teleporters on your way. Continue east and turn south into the 3rd teleporter, then go west and you will find the exit north of you. If you ever get lost, use wings or the retreat spell to get back to the entrance. The boss Aquagoth is immobile and has 2 tentacles that you should destroy before hitting the boss itself. He is again not really that hard, but honestly nothing is hard if you are And that brings us into Gothica. Next up is another marketplace where we get some talismans and equipment, a horror show, a pig race and some chess. Yep. So thank you all for watching, and if you learned something today, please like the video and consider subscribing to my channel for more wholesome and sick ass gamer tips for retro video games. Until next time, later.